you have a hot electric scooter here, really beautiful vehicle, and we see news here and there about different electric scooters. Can you tell us 4 or 5 things that are particularly special, unique about your electric scooter that sets it apart?
Okay, we're the largest smart scooter company in the world, smart meaning connected. We sold about 330,000 scooters globally. We use lithium-ion batteries that are removable from the scooter. Those batteries, our main supplier is Panasonic. Our motors that are a hub-mounted motor is from Bosch, and we've co-developed that with them.
And maybe it actually works if you sit on the scooter a bit while we chat.
Sure.
And I think
no problem. I'm gonna get out of the light, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, the lighting was actually difficult.
There we go.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so the motor is Bosch?
Motor's Bosch. Battery that we co-designed with Bosch. Our batteries are from Panasonic cells, and then we co-collaborated in designing the architecture of the removable batteries.
18650 cells?
Yep, 18650 cells. Typical battery has about 170, 180 cells in a single battery. The bike that I'm sitting on, the N, is a 1.8 kilowatt battery with a max output on the motor of 2.4 kilowatts. It's got a range, real city driving range of anywhere from about 55 to 70 kilometers, depending on temperature, weight, things along those lines. And right now this is selling in about 400 points of sale across Europe.
400 points of sale, and China as well?
China, we have 400 of our own retail experiences plus hundreds of others. So in China, we've sold about 330,000 scooters, give or take. In Europe right now, we have about 5,000 scooters in the market. Sell in about 5,000. I think about 80% of that is already sold out.
Cool. And so you mentioned the range and the battery being lithium-ion from Panasonic 18650. You mentioned to me a few minutes ago that a lot of scooters in China use lead acid. Is this also other markets also still using lead acid?
Yeah, I mean even bikes that you see in the show here today, some of them are still using.
And so how does that then set you apart with customers for?
Well, one, using a lithium-ion battery, you're able to remove the battery and carry it up to your house to plug it in, or to your office to plug it in for recharging. Clearly, for environmental purposes, lithium-ion is a bit cleaner than lead acid, and the other great part about the lithium batteries is the second life of those batteries after they become, they need to be used by other purposes. They're not being used by the scooters anymore. So from a lithium standpoint, mobility, also the ability to use them for longer periods of time than lead acid, and most importantly, we can put it into our entire powertrain with our BMS and our controller.
And so you're selling to private customers, private individuals, of course, but also electric scooter sharing networks?
Yeah, so our main market right now globally is definitely B2C, so selling through retail. We have a lot of inquiries from sharing companies around the world, Europe, US, Asia, and we are open to all possibilities.
If we're looking at the bike here, how does that relate then?
So in terms of the bike for sharing, it's a slightly different model than the B2C bike. What we're looking at here is the B2C. For sharing, it'll be a push-button start. For sharing also, it'll have a rear tail box that's electronically integrated, an electronically integrated seat as well. And most importantly, all of our bikes, B2C and B2B and sharing, are all connected to the cloud. We have our own cloud sitting on Amazon Web Services in Germany. And all of that, we apply an API with the software developer kit for any of the sharing programs to connect directly into.
And how does your app work that you have?
So our app is probably best to show right here. The app itself, for iOS and for Android, for the B2C model, you can see where your bike is, you can see how much battery you have left and the estimated range based upon your driving, and a handful of other things as well.
So what do you see as the biggest bottlenecks to, I mean, scooters are great city tool, city vehicle.
Yep.
Some cities, some countries, they're really popular. Others, they're not.
Yeah.
And the thing I always wonder is what psychological factors are preventing that greater adoption and
Well, I think I'll unpack your question a bit. So the first question is how do you get people that are not used to scooting? So for example, America. We're a car culture. So getting people into a scooter is making them feel familiar and safe with the product, number one. Number two is you need to focus on the right markets in, for example, the United States. You would be focusing in on San Francisco, New York, Austin, Texas, cities where you have a young millennial creative class type of customer base. In terms of Europe, getting people over to electric is taking them from petrol to electric. And the biggest barrier that's stopping Europeans right now is really range anxiety. So people are very, very worried that they're going to run out of battery in the middle of nowhere. And so what we're trying to help them understand is that this thing is going to get you, like I said, 55 to 70 kilometers on a single charge. The daily average use of a scooter is 15 to 20 kilometers. That means you have at least 3 or 4 days of riding.
And then, like you said, you can take the battery out, take it inside, charge
exactly.
it.
Exactly. So if you want to take the battery out, I'll show you how it works.
Yeah, sure, that'd be great.
So we have a double security. So first you unlock the seat, do a second unlock, and then we have the battery stored right here in the floor.
Nice.
So from here we just unplug. Hello, Joseph. And take the battery out.
Boom.
10 kilograms.
Look at that. So easy.
Yep, that's all.
And then you said you even got smaller bike with how much is the other one?
The other battery is an 8 kilogram battery. This is a 10 kilogram battery.
Okay. Cool. Well, looks great. We'll be talking a lot more tomorrow on a roundtable discussion here at Autonomy in Paris. Fascinated to get your views more in the discussion.
Happy to talk about it.
And thank you for what you're doing.
Awesome, thank you.
So can you say when you first had the idea to get into this sector, and then the sort of different stages of funding you've had for the company?
Yeah. So the company officially launched in 2014, raised venture capital in late 2015 and 16, and then we did our first crowdfunding campaign in June of 2015. Where we were online for about 2 weeks and we raised approximately $11 million. Then about a year making it...
Kickstarter or?
No, JD. Jingdong. So using their crowdfunding platform, raising around $11 million a year. Basically a year later, we launched this bike that I'm sitting on. And we did about $13 million in crowdfunding for the second time. So combined, about $24 million, making it the top 6 crowdfunded companies globally.
It's crazy. Top 6 and in such a short period of time. The first one was 2 weeks and the second one was?
2 weeks.
That's insane, yeah. So, I mean, people just fell in love with this idea of a hot electric scooter?
Well, I think it was a combination of something completely new in the market. More importantly, we're selling a technology device, and the millennial customer in China, they were looking for something that they could actually connect and identify with, as opposed to some of the other product that was on the market.
So, boom. Yeah, well, congratulations. That's a tremendous feat. And I thought 24 million, maybe that's top 500. No, top 6, you said.
Top 6, I believe it is, yeah.
I mean, it's insane. I can't think of many huge... anywhere close to that scale.
Yeah, and definitely in terms of for mobility, it's definitely... I don't have all the facts, but I would say it's probably number 1 or number 2.
And would you go back to that method again in the future for future products, or?
We're contemplating it for some international options.
It's also just a good way to get a sense of how much demand there is, right?
Sure.
So
we can sense demand. We can sense not just total market demand, but we can isolate it down to city level, regional level. That actually helps us design a retail and future e-commerce strategy as well.
Well, thanks again and congratulations again. And we'll get a quick shot with the light now. Yeah, there we go.